Congratulations on your spectacular performance. We got to see it here, of course, in the Toronto Film Festival to rave reviews. And, I just want to know how you managed to make things look so effortless.
Well, that's very kind of you to say so. Well, I think the process of the way you work with Mike Leigh is that you build the character from ground zero, really. You build him up from nothing, and you build up this human being, and then you join it up with the research. So in the end, the character, because you work so intensely on trying to create it organically, starts to become its own thing. It looks after you. It's like putting it on with the costume, and you take it off afterwards. So if it looks effortless, which is a very, very big compliment, that it's all part of the fact that the character is telling you what to do rather than the other way around, which can be a bit freaky.
Well, you had me convinced, because I think that I would absolutely buy a painting from you now.
Oh, right. You wouldn't want one of mine? Perhaps Turner. I mean, I might be able to knock one off,
But you in reality, you did spend a lot of time preparing for the role, and I know, of course, you and Mike have worked together in so many other things together. But this one, you spent 2 years? Actually, he told you have to go and learn how to paint. What was that process like for you?
Yeah, it wasn't quite as dictatorial as that, but he did ask me if I wouldn't mind, and I readily agreed to go off and learn to paint. And we had the luxury of time, because he announced that he wanted to do it, and there was 3 years, and he didn't even have the money for it. He didn't quite know where it was going to go. So he said, if you're not, too against it, do you fancy learning how to paint? And I said, fine, yeah, good. How does that work? And he found me this brilliant portraitist and art teacher who knows everything about all the various techniques and mediums you use. And he gave me a 2-year sort of fine art foundation course. In the end, what it was for was to, obviously, I was never going to paint like Turner, but what it did give me was a working understanding of the use of how to hold a brush, how to mix paint, what it was like to be an artist, and to use the materials, and to become, in a sense, imbued by just everyday using of the materials. So it was a fantastic, prolonged, as I say, way of marinating yourself in what it is to be an artist,
Right, absolutely. Do you find it more of a challenge to play somebody who actually lives, or do you like just being a character that just came off the page?
Well, it's always easier to play somebody that doesn't exist, because if you get it wrong, nobody's going to know. Because you could always say, oh, that was just the way he was. I mean, when you're playing someone that existed, you have the massive responsibility of using what the material is suggesting they're going to be like. So yeah, there's more of a challenge, but in a sense, because you have the responsibility of portraying somebody that existed, but there is a lot of information for you to draw on, so it gives you a lot of pointers. It's your job to take what you require, not to fly in the face of the truthful side of it. But the great thing about the Victorians, the people of the pre-psychological age, is they didn't tell you how they felt, and they didn't tell you what they were thinking. So that left quite a lot of, should we say, dramatic license, and us to fill in the gaps that aren't there, to create a rounded human being from the academic material that you're presented.
Fantastic. Well, you did really, again, kudos to you, and we always love having you here in Toronto, so bring us another one for next year, okay?
Yeah, well, it was lovely to be in Toronto, and thank you very much. I'm very pleased you like the film.